Hello. Thank you so much for coming in today. That was a really beautiful performance. So firstly, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you've performed today?
So my name is Filippos. I'm a composer and pianist and improviser. And today I played 4 improvisation sets on the piano.
Great. And can you talk us through your approach to improvisation? Do you consider elements like structure and timbre when you're playing?
So it's very important for me in terms of when I start improvising, what elements and material I'm going to play in the very beginning. And as I'm playing, I'm always considering what kind of material I can use to further develop further on. So I hear for different rhythmic elements or different harmonic elements or melodic elements. There are some that I just skip over and I don't use and I go from there. But if I find some that I really like, I continue to pursue towards some elements. And while I'm playing, I'm actually thinking, what could I do? Oh, I skip, for example, for something and I go, oh, I really like that. So what can I do with that? How can I use that further on? And in what context?
Great. And do you have any influences or references that you, that come across in your playing?
So in my influence, because coming from a classical music background, like I started as a classical pianist, I played through a lot of different style of composers from contemporary to like impressionist pianists. So I kind of draw a lot of material from these composers. So for example, Debussy or Ravel, both of their stylistic playing and their beautiful colors they have in the pianos, I extract them and introduce them in my improvisation. I also really like harmonic qualities of Messiaen, for example, and Morton Feldman is in general a big admirer of his music. But further on, in terms of like pianist and improviser, I'm a big fan of free jazz and that free improv music scene. And there are particularly two pianists that I really admire. One of them is Craig Taburn, and the other one is Matthew Sheep. And they both kind of introduce, one of them most jazz-oriented, but they both introduce this really nice blend of more conventional harmony and then a lot of more aggressive gestures and dissonances.
Great. It's all really interesting stuff. And one question that's come up from members of the team here today is just, what do you think about when you're playing? What's going through your head?
There's different stages of thinking. So at first, as I'm saying, I'm in the beginning, especially in the first set where I'm still fresh and I'm not really in a zone, I start thinking immediately from the first chord where I start and then where do I go from there. And then trying to hear from an outside perspective, of a listener's perspective, how the sound world is going towards, like what's the timing, what's the tempo, where am I going to go, and while I'm playing, I'm also thinking a lot of technical aspects. So concentrating a lot in if I want to do a staccato, let's say, or if I want to do something more of an accent, or if I want to do a passage which has more of an arpeggio gesture to it. Sometimes I want that blur effect, but sometimes I want to be very precise. So I focus a lot of the technical aspects as well. And sometimes my mind just, I guess, wanders around. I start thinking about, it's kind of a, not existential experience, but you're going in such a specific zone where it kind of fluctuates between actual playing, but then listening again from an outside perspective.
Yeah. So you're kind of like half playing, half listening, zoning in and out of the kind of performer listener roles.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I think that's all from us. So thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
It was brilliant, and hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.